Hello everyone, in today's video we will be delving into a disturbing crime. Let's begin. In 1991, Michelle Stewart was born to Kenny and Josephine Stewart in AER Scotland, becoming the youngest of 4 siblings. Despite the significant age gap between Michelle and her older siblings, a strong familial bond prevailed, and she remained exceptionally close to all of them. As the baby of the family, Michelle received ample attention and affection, often being the focal point during family gatherings, particularly on occasions like Christmas and birthdays. Michelle's upbringing was characterized by love and support, but it also presented a unique challenge. She was born with clubfoot, a relatively common birth defect that necessitated multiple surgeries during her formative years. Clubfoot involves the twisting of a child's foot out of its normal position, with tendons shorter than usual. While it could impede normal walking, Michelle faced this physical challenge with resilience. Despite the potential impact on her self-esteem, especially during adolescence, Michelle didn't let clubfoot hinder her. She actively participated in activities alongside peers her age, displaying a determination to overcome her earlier struggles. Approaching her teenage years, Michelle transformed into a confident and beautiful young girl, with striking blue eyes, eagerly anticipating significant milestones like learning to drive and experiencing first love. At the age of 14, Michelle's life took a romantic turn when her family discovered her interactions with a 17-year-old boy named John Wilson, who grew up nearby. John's upbringing differed from Michelle's, lacking the same level of love and support. Despite their differences, a connection developed between Michelle and John, drawing them closer as they spent more time together. Michelle's family, upon learning of the relationship, expressed reservations about her involvement with John, primarily due to his family's reputation in the area and the age difference. Michelle, however, remained steadfast in her determination to pursue the relationship. Her family, reluctantly but with the intention of understanding, attempted to get to know John. Despite initial misgivings, they found him to be a quiet yet pleasant individual, marking the complex interplay of love, family dynamics, and personal choices in Michelle's adolescent journey. Wilson would engage in friendly conversations with Michelle's family whenever he encountered them, creating the impression that they got along well. However, his behavior took a concerning turn when he was away from Michelle's family. Despite maintaining a facade of model behavior in their presence, Wilson developed a reputation as a troublemaker, becoming entangled in serious incidents with law enforcement. Within the first year of meeting Michelle's family, Wilson faced arrest on racially motivated charges, and a subsequent conviction at the age of 17 for tossing a lit firework onto a bus filled with school-aged children raised red flags for Michelle's family. As Wilson's questionable behavior accumulated, Michelle's family heard unsettling stories about his conduct towards Michelle. Reports surfaced of him displaying a volatile temper, including instances of allegedly hitting Michelle and punching walls in fits of frustration. In October of 2008, Michelle discovered that Wilson had been contacting adult-only phone lines, leading her to end the relationship due to his failure to meet her expectations. However, Wilson refused to accept the breakup and embarked on a troubling path of stalking and harassment. Despite Michelle's rejection and her family's interventions informing him of her wishes, Wilson persisted with constant phone calls and intimidation. Faced with the severity of the situation, Michelle decided to change her phone number to escape the relentless barrage of calls. Wilson's inability to cope with the rejection escalated, triggering a darker turn in his thoughts. Consumed by a desire for revenge, he aimed to make Michelle suffer. Michelle, on the other hand, focused on rebuilding her life and moving forward from the traumatic relationship. She became increasingly anxious, rarely leaving her house except for attending school. As Michelle approached her 18th birthday in November 2008, she worked towards achieving personal milestones, including driving lessons to obtain her license. She also set her sights on a future career, aspiring to become a secretary within the police force, distancing herself from the troubling influence of Wilson. However, approximately 6 weeks after ending the relationship, Michelle's life took a tragic turn on November 14, 2008, in her small village, where she went about her daily routine after school. Some of Michelle's friends knocked on her door, inviting her to join them on a walk to the village shop with plans to buy some sweets or candy. Despite having mostly stayed at home in the weeks following her breakup with Wilson due to his stalking, Michelle agreed to go with her friends, likely seeking a sense of security in their company. Walking with friends probably made her feel safer than venturing out alone amidst the ongoing threat from her ex-boyfriend. The group left the shop around 6:30 p.m., and that's when Wilson approached them, insisting that Michelle talk to him. Wilson's appearance was no coincidence. He had taken 2 buses to lurk outside the shop, a place he knew Michelle frequented when she wanted a treat. A brief, heated conversation unfolded between the ex-partners, witnessed by Michelle's friends. Despite Michelle's attempts to walk away, Wilson, driven by rage, brandished a long, sharp kitchen implement he had been carrying and launched a surprise attack on her from behind. In a desperate bid to defend herself, Michelle faced an onslaught of 10 jabs during the rapid and ferocious assault. Her friends bravely tried to pull Wilson away, but the attack happened so swiftly that there was little they could do to intervene effectively. Witnesses in the vicinity were shocked by the sudden violence, and despite the speed of the attack, several people saw what had transpired. After the assault, Wilson fled the scene, seemingly aware that he had been identified by witnesses. As Michelle lay on the ground, her shocked friends tried to comprehend the gravity of the situation. Michelle, with a heartbreaking revelation, told them, "He stabbed me." News of the attack quickly spread, prompting Michelle's family to rush to the scene. Lisa, Michelle's sister, had been alerted by their mother and arrived at the shops to witness a crowd standing around. When she inquired about her sister's whereabouts, the crowd parted, revealing Michelle on the ground. Shortly after, Michelle's mother arrived, confronted with the devastating sight of her injured daughter. Efforts were made to save Michelle's life through CPR by local residents and even her brother, Kenny, who was a nurse and had rushed to the scene. Despite the collective attempts to keep her alive until paramedics could transport her to the hospital, the doctors had to deliver the devastating news to Michelle's grief-stricken family. There was nothing more that could be done to save her life. Michelle, a young girl with a promising future ahead, would never reach her 18th birthday. The attack had taken her life, leaving her friends and family to grapple with the traumatic memories of that sudden, brutal incident. The loss extended beyond Michelle. Her friends were forever scarred by the tragedy, and her parents and siblings had to confront the painful reality that the person they had welcomed into their home had become the one responsible for taking Michelle away from them. The tragedy of Michelle's life being cut short robbed her of the opportunity to achieve the goals she had eagerly looked forward to, such as obtaining her driver's license, starting her career, and eventually having a family. What began as an ordinary day for her and her loved ones swiftly turned into the most tragic day of their lives. Witnesses from the scene, including Michelle's friends, promptly informed authorities about Wilson's involvement in the attack. With numerous witnesses placing him at the scene, the evidence against Wilson was overwhelming. After fleeing to his family's home, police arrested him for the crime. Wilson appeared in court in March 2009 and, faced with substantial evidence, did not contest the charges. Despite admitting to ending Michelle's life, he displayed a complete lack of remorse throughout the legal proceedings. The death was suspected to be premeditated, given that Wilson had been carrying a sharp implement and was known to be stalking Michelle on the night of the incident. His past criminal history, marked by racist views and a disregard for the safety of school children in a previous incident, further illustrated his troubling character. In April 2009, Wilson received a life sentence as part of a plea bargain. However, the sentence shocked and enraged Michelle's family. Despite the viciousness of the attack, Wilson was required to serve a minimum of only 12 years, making him eligible for release by the time he turned 32. This prospect added to the family's pain and frustration. In 2023, after serving 15 years for the crime, Wilson's attempt at parole was denied by the Scottish Parole Board. While he had experienced some temporary release from prison, the question arises, does the punishment fit the crime, and what measures could be taken to prevent such incidents in the future? Opinions on the adequacy of the sentence may vary. Some may argue that a life sentence with a minimum term of only 12 years seems insufficient for the severity of the crime, especially considering the impact on Michelle's family. Others may emphasize the importance of rehabilitation and the potential for positive change during incarceration. To prevent similar tragedies, addressing issues such as stalking, domestic violence, and ensuring the safety of potential victims are crucial. This involves comprehensive education, early intervention, and robust legal measures. Additionally, regular assessments of parole eligibility should consider the ongoing risk posed by the offender to society. Ultimately, discussions around appropriate sentencing and preventive measures should involve input from legal experts, victim advocacy groups, and the broader community to create a balanced and effective approach to justice and public safety. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with friends and family, and let me know your opinion in the comments section.